You know the feeling. You've got a pounding headache. Maybe your lower back is screaming at you, or a sudden fever just hit you out of nowhere. Welcome to this explainer for The Medicine Diary. Today we're diving deep into one of the most common medications on the planet. We're going to strip away all the flashy marketing and look at the absolute, undeniable medical science behind ibuprofen. Because knowing exactly what you're putting into your body, well, it's going to save your health, and it's definitely going to save you some cash.
So, picture this. You're standing in the pharmacy aisle, your head is throbbing, and you're faced with a high-stakes showdown. Right there in front of you is a bright, shiny, familiar box from a famous brand. It's going to set you back about $15. Sitting right next to it, a simple, store-brand bottle of generic ibuprofen for literally $4. They both promise to cure your headache, but when you're in pain, that little voice of doubt kicks in, right? You start wondering, wait, is the cheaper one going to work as well? Is the expensive one somehow safer or faster? Let's actually put them head-to-head. On one side, we've got the heavy hitters, the major brand names like Advil or Motrin, and on the other side, just standard plain label ibuprofen. The big question is, does paying that extra $11 actually buy you better pain relief? Like, are there secret, magical ingredients in the expensive box that your body somehow prefers? Well, to get to the bottom of that, we have to completely ignore the packaging and look at what this drug actually does on a microscopic cellular level.
Okay, first things first, what exactly is ibuprofen? Medically speaking, it's an NSAID. That's a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug. Now, unlike steroids, which basically trick your body by mimicking natural hormones, NSAIDs use a completely different chemical pathway to do three very specific jobs. They alleviate your pain, they dial down inflammation like redness and swelling, and they lower fevers. But that raises a really interesting question. How on earth does a little pill actually know where you hurt?
Well, it actually doesn't. The secret is all about your body's natural alarm system. Whenever you get injured or catch a virus, your body instantly starts pumping out these specific lipid compounds called prostaglandins. Think of prostaglandins as chemical alarm bells. They rush straight to the site of the damage, they trigger a bunch of swelling, they dial up your nerve sensitivity so you feel pain, and they tell your brain to crank up your body temperature. They are literally the root cause of all your misery.
So here's where ibuprofen comes to the rescue. It doesn't just put a Band-Aid over the pain, it literally shuts down the factory. Inside your cells, there are these enzymes called COX-1 and COX-2. You can think of them as the actual machines building those pain-causing prostaglandins. When you take ibuprofen, the drug physically jams up those COX enzymes, factory closed. By blocking that process, the drug quickly drops the vascular inflammation in your head during a migraine, or the joint swelling when your arthritis flares up. And honestly, the truly remarkable thing about this biological hack is just how incredibly fast it works. For your everyday stuff, tension headaches, cramps, minor sprains, ibuprofen kicks in and gives you real, noticeable symptom relief in just 20 to 30 minutes. The second it hits your bloodstream and blocks those enzymes, the prostaglandin levels plummet, and your pain just starts fading away.
Which brings us right back to our $15 versus $4 debate. Here is the definitive medical verdict, straight from the FDA. They approve both the brand names and the generics for the exact same conditions because they have identical active mechanisms. Let me repeat that. Identical. The $4 bottle and the $15 box have the exact same active ingredient, jamming up the exact same enzymes in the exact same 20 to 30 minutes. Medically, there is zero difference. You are quite literally just paying for their marketing budget.
Now, getting this drug into everyone's medicine cabinet was a long journey. Back in 1961, researchers filed the very first patent, looking for a safer alternative to super high-dose aspirin. By '69, it was a massive prescription hit. It was deemed so safe that by 1983, it went totally over the counter and took over the world. But look, science never sleeps. Decades later, around 2015, global regulators made a major update. They confirmed that taking really high doses of this stuff actually carries some serious hidden cardiovascular risks.
So let's talk about Section 2, the hidden health risks. What actually happens to your body when you completely ignore the warning label? Because ibuprofen turns off prostaglandins everywhere in your body, it inadvertently switches off some vital protective systems too. We've got two major danger zones here. On the left, your stomach. Some of those prostaglandins actually exist to protect your stomach lining from your own digestive acid. Block them, and you're looking at ulcers, heartburn, and severe stomach bleeding, which is a huge risk if you're over 60. On the right side, your heart. Popping too many of these for too long can actually increase your risk of a heart attack or stroke, and it can really mess with high blood pressure. Because of these systemic domino effects, there are specific people who need to stay far, far away from this medication. Pregnant women? Absolutely, especially at 20 weeks or more, as it can cause really severe complications for the baby's heart. If you've got severe heart disease, high blood pressure, or liver and kidney issues, the organ toxicity risk is just way too high. And listen, if you are on blood thinners, taking daily aspirin for your heart, or have an active ulcer, mixing in an NSAID is a recipe for dangerous, life-threatening internal bleeding.
All right, we know the risks, so let's move into Section 3, Safe Dosing Guidelines. These are your actionable rules for everyday use.
I want to empower you to use this stuff safely, so here is your absolute golden rule. 1200. That is your maximum over-the-counter daily limit in milligrams. Sure, a doctor might prescribe higher doses while keeping a very close eye on you, but doing it on your own, going over 1200 milligrams a day pushes you straight into that dangerous cardiovascular territory we just talked about.
So, what does 1200 milligrams actually look like in real life? It's exactly 6 standard 200 milligram tablets in a 24-hour window. For adults, the golden rule is to take just one of these pills every 4 to 6 hours, and only if you actually need it. Now, if one isn't cutting it for a nasty migraine, you can occasionally take 2 at once, but you must never, ever exceed that hard limit of 6 pills in a full day unless your actual doctor tells you to.
To wrap up the safety side, here are 3 quick daily best practices to bulletproof your body. Number 1, always take this with food or a glass of milk. It creates a physical buffer in your stomach to prevent that bleeding we discussed. Number 2, use the lowest dose that actually works. You don't always need 2 pills if one gets the job done. And number 3, keep it short. Don't take it for pain for more than 10 days in a row or for a fever for more than 3 days without getting a doctor involved.
Look, understanding exactly how your medicine works is like having a superpower. It lets you heal safely, and it keeps extra money in your wallet. So the next time that headache strikes, what's it going to be? Are you going to pay for the expensive, shiny box, or are you going to trust the exact same science in the generic bottle?